Hello, and thank you for tuning in. My name is John, and today I'm going to be discussing some topics that I've been keeping under consideration. As I've mentioned before, I belong to a hamster forum. I don't represent them, so I'm not going to mention their name, but they do a really good job of bringing up some topics that you probably wouldn't have otherwise thought of. The one thing that really sticks out in my mind, well, there's two topics that I'm going to bring up. The first is there was a post about a hamster ball. And somebody had alleged that a hamster ball is a form of animal cruelty. So I never really considered that before. All my hamsters have always had balls. I mean, like the running kind. And I never really considered that a hamster ball could be a form of cruelty. So I had to stop and I had to think about it. And the more I thought about it, the less likely this claim seemed to ring true. If you think about it, one of the essentials for every hamster cage is a wheel. Hamsters can run up to 5 miles a night, sometimes more, depending upon how active your hamster is, in their hamster wheel. And if you compare this runabout ball to a wheel, they're really not that much different, except you can just plunker down your little guy wherever you want to in your home and let them run around. Obviously, you want to stay away from stairs. Nobody would enjoy being in a ball, or in our case, a car, and going downstairs. It would be very hazardous to our health, very hazardous to a hamster's health to go downstairs in a ball or go down a slide or anything like that. But for most responsible pet owners, that thought probably wouldn't cross their mind to try and down the stairs. So that's my first point. My second point is, one thing I constantly hear is that as far as environments and habitats are concerned for hamsters, that bigger is always better. If bigger is always better, wouldn't you want to put your hamster in a ball? If you can provide them with an even larger habitat, or the run of their house, or the run of your house, so they can get that exercise and can explore, wouldn't that be an excellent way to give it to them? She's so cute. So, and then the next point was that they aren't really well ventilated. She keeps trying to escape. It's not fair. Here, stay up there for a minute. So, on the topic of ventilation, I'm going to bring up two different products, or one product to rival the hamster ball product. Here is an igloo. Most hamster owners have igloos. She better not escape that way. She's trying. Look at her. Most hamster owners have an igloo, or at least that I've noticed. Some people have different structures that they've built. Get back in there. An igloo only has 4 holes for ventilation. It also has a hole at the top, but if your hamsters are like the hamsters that I've experienced, they usually plug that hole up with bedding, and mine, you are a little escape artist. Look at that face. Escape artist. The hole's usually plugged up, so they're counting on the 4 holes for ventilation. Never had a problem. If you look at this runabout ball, it has slots on every side for ventilation, so they can breathe just fine. So I just wanted to dissuade anybody from not using a hamster ball. If you use it responsibly, there's no reason your hamster shouldn't have a hamster ball. Like I said, it's a great way of providing them with a wider environment to play in a safe manner and giving them time to explore. One other topic that I wanted to discuss is playtime. I also read on my forum recently something that was very thought-provoking. Somebody said that they don't play with their hamsters that often, as it would stress them out. I believe this has some valid points and some invalid points. I play with my hamsters probably about a half hour to an hour every day. In order to do this, I'm obviously waking them up when they should be sleeping. But just because hamsters are considered a nocturnal animal doesn't mean they don't get up during the day for different... Get down. They get up for brief periods to get food, water. This one right here is very energetic. So what she'll do is she'll get up and run around in her wheel and then go back to bed. She's right there. I don't really think that you can play with your hamster too much. I think it would be easier for children to play with their hamsters too much and exhaust them. But if you're doing something like what I'm doing, taking them out in a playpen that you made, and giving them a way to run around and have a good time, and it is closer to the bedtime. While I'm filming this, it is much closer to the bedtime. It's really not an issue. I think what you get is you get a lot of people who want what's best for their animals, or this is their only hobby, so they make up excuses for their pet to take up more time or ways to pay more attention to them. So I just wanted to bring up those two facts. One, hamster balls that hamsters run in are not animal cruelty whatsoever. Especially my hamsters, they love them, except for the robos. They can't really move them, so if hamster runabout balls are cruelty, so are hamster wheels. And you can't play with your hamster too much. You shouldn't have your hamster up for hours and hours and hours at a time, but an hour to 2 hours, or however long your hamster seems like they want to play for is usually best practice. Your hamster will let you know when they've had enough. They won't be playful. They'll want to... Sorry, this is probably the worst videography ever. They'll be sluggish. They won't want to play. You'll know the difference. So play with your hamsters, and I highly suggest you invest in a runabout ball. And that's it for this video. Please tune in for more.